She went to her mini spa treatment earlier, so she's just relaxing, chilling tonight. But I'm here to help you ladies out. So I'm going to dig deep into it, jump right into it right away. Again, get your questions ready. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can answer as well. But let's jump right into it with the first way to know if he's chosen you. And I'm not saying if he likes you or if he says he wants to be with you or if he thinks you're attractive. No. Chosen is so much different and the signs are so much different as well. So I'll jump into the first way that you know that he's chosen you. Number one point is he cannot go a day without talking to you. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying he can't go a day without texting you. He can't go a day without thinking about you. Those are separate. When I say talking, it means he wants to hear your voice. He needs to see you. You're on his mind to the point where I don't care if he's working, if he's all in his day, he needs to see and hear you. So what'll happen is the guy that has chosen you, in most cases, he'll want to pop up at your job. He'll call you in the middle of the day just to let you know that he was thinking about you. Like, okay, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're at work. I know you're busy, but I just wanted to keep you at the top of of your mind. Because what happens as well, and I know this as a fact, because when Coach Tasha and I were dating, and she was busy with work, busy with business, busy with her kids, I was scheduling times to talk with her, knowing that I couldn't just pop up and call her at any time, couldn't just reach out and just expect a conversation. So, out of respect for what she was doing in her life, and also knowing that we haven't made that commitment, but I wanted to be with her. I wanted to take it to the next level. So I had to show these signs. I was like, okay, what time are you available? Can you talk later tonight? Can we talk at 7? And then once we got to the point where we were dating for marriage, it hasn't been a day that's gone past, probably since about May, since we reconnected, since about May of 2023. It hasn't been a day that's gone past that we haven't talked, that we haven't just had discussion or saw each other, went somewhere consistently. And we got married a year ago, which was July of 2024. So even leading up to it, I wanted her to know that I had chosen her, that I made a decision that I wanted to be with her. And I didn't want anyone else that was pursuing her, that liked her, to have access to her. So I tried to shut all those doors by occupying as much of her free time as I could. Anytime that she wasn't working, okay, you're free at 7, let's talk at 7. Conversation is going to go as long as she's willing to talk. Because once she's done talking to me, then she doesn't have energy to do anything else. And if he's healthy, he's going to want to spend time with you, going to want to talk to you. And as long as you're healthy and you're feminine and you're willing to receive, you'll be able to see it in a way where it's not him overdoing it. He's doing too much. And, if you're not in a position where you're ready to move forward in a healthy relationship, your conversation may be like, oh, he's doing too much. Oh, he's stalking me. Oh, man, give me a little space. That just lets you know where you're at. So, the number one way you'll know if a man has chosen you is if he cannot go a day without talking to you. And ladies, let me know if you've had guys who just always want to reach out to you, always want to connect, always want to talk to you. And remember, talking to you is so much different than texting, because men will want to text, good morning, beautiful. They're texting you every day. I'm thinking about you. These texting conversations go on and on and on. And you're thinking, oh, he must really like me. No, you're in this texting rotation. It's easier to text a bunch of people than to talk to one person, because for a man, we compartmentalize things so much. We can only focus on a little bit at a time. So if we're talking to you on a phone, in most cases, it's hard to have other conversations going on. It's hard to have a texting conversation going on. So that right there lets you know that he's dedicated this time just for you. He's not talking to a whole bunch of people at this time. So if he's quick to want to get off the phone, I'm just calling, to let you know, I'm thinking about you, and he never wants to have conversation. It's always, let me just let you hear my voice or let me just text you real quick, that means that he's busy doing other things. Other things may be taking a priority. And in some senses, that can be good. I'll get into that as well, depending on what he's doing with his life, with work. But if he's ready to move forward in marriage, he's going to make sure that he shows you that he's chosen you by continuing to want to see you and talk to you daily. So the second way you'll know is you won't have to guess if he's into you. You won't have to have conversations with your girlfriends like, I think he likes me, or man, he called me today, or yesterday, we talked about getting together and he looked at me when he saw me at work. So I think he liked me. No, you don't have to sit up here and think. You don't have to wonder. Healthy masculine energy men aren't playing those type of games because they're busy doing stuff anyway. They're busy taking care of business, working. So when it comes down to wanting to move forward with someone that they've identified as a potential person that they see themselves marrying, then it's going to be so direct. They're going to tell you in most cases. They're not going to play games and they bring you flowers, but the flowers don't have a name on it. It's just an anonymous person from your secret admirer. Healthy, healthy masculine energy men don't have a problem with letting you know because we don't fear, in a sense, we don't fear rejection. It's like, okay, I've been rejected so many times in business, in life, on the job, in sports, in relationships. So let her know. We always say, this is what I always say, hey, you miss every shot you don't take. So a healthy masculine energy man is thinking from that mindset of, let me shoot my shot. Let me put my best foot forward. I want to make sure she doesn't think like, okay, maybe he has a girlfriend. Because I'm sure some of you ladies have seen that as well, where it's like, well, maybe he has a girlfriend or something because he looked at me, but he didn't approach me. All these men are looking at me, but nobody's approaching me. It's something wrong with them, I'm sure. And a lot of times that's not the case. What could be the case is they're just not, they haven't chosen you. They might think you're attractive, but they haven't chosen you as the person that they want to move forward with. They haven't chosen you as the person that they want to take things to the next level. And even in relationship, you're dating this person, you've been dating them for 2 or 3 years, and you're still trying to figure out, am I the person that they want to be with? And in a lot of cases, what we'll see is men will even give you a ring. They'll ask you to marry them. They'll ask you to walk down the aisle. It won't be a date. It won't be a location. You don't have a pastor or anyone officiant to marry you. Nobody's picked out any suits. You haven't sent out any invitations. And you're still wondering, has he chosen me? And I'll help you out real quick. The answer is no. Healthy masculine energy men are not going to have you confused, are not going to have you sitting and wondering. They don't want chaos, and they're not going to take years to want to move forward with you. Just like so many women within the Feminine Energy Academy who've come in situationships. They came in and they were dating someone for years, and it's like, you know what, this isn't working. They've done then they start doing all the inner healing, start listening to the audios on dating and marriage, the audios on the nervous system re-regulation in the Feminine Energy Academy. And then months later, because not only did they get this at a head knowledge, they start embodying this. This is the information they start embodying. And as they start embodying it, they saw change within weeks and months. And just even from the beginning of the year, we've had engagements and marriages every month this year from the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy because they didn't stop at, okay, he likes me, he's giving me a ring. No, this guy needs to show me. And healthy masculine energy men are going to show you, going to let you know in word and in deed, not just in word, because men will say anything. Men will say anything that sounds good in the moment, anything that's going to get your attention, anything that's going to make you say he likes me. They'll say it. But it's a difference between being chosen and being liked, or being chosen and someone who calls you, they boo, they boo thing, or wifey, or they have every nickname in the book for you except the real name, which is wife, or the real thing, which is giving you a ring and have asked you to marry them. So definitely at the bottom, let me know what nicknames your situationships have given you who haven't wanted to move forward in relationship, because those nicknames mean nothing. You want to position yourself where the guy chooses you, not gives you all these cute nicknames and makes you feel good inside. And then when he leaves for the night, when you go your separate ways, now you're sitting worried and wondering, what is he doing? Does he want to be with me? Has he chosen me? If you're sitting and wondering about that, I'll answer that for you as well. The answer is no, he probably hasn't chosen you. And it's time for you to make sure you do what you need to do so you can get chosen by the right man. And the third point on that, and I know I've touched on it a little, but I'll go a little deeper, is he always wants to see you. Now, he's not the type of guy who, necessarily is saying, okay, let's get together every day normally. But when it comes to you, he always is asking you when can he see you, or he's planning dates for you. He's not just sending text messages saying, I was thinking about you and let me know when we can get together, or hit me up when you're free. No. That hit me up when you're free is situationship talk. Hit me up when you get a minute. That's situationship talk. A man that wants to be with you and has chosen you is planning dates. He's planning times to see you. He's willing to fly where you are or fly you out to him just to see you. Even today in the Feminine Energy Academy, one of our ladies who, even a couple of weeks ago, didn't have a problem attracting men, but it was her energy behind it. And she shifted her energy behind how she was viewing the men, instead of, okay, these men don't want anything, or it's no good men out here. Whatever her thought process was, she shifted it to, she has an abundance of men. Men just love being around her, love being with her, not sexually, but love being in her presence. And as soon as she made that shift, guys start moving things, start wanting to see her. These guys are talking to her about being together. And it's a guy who recently, this was just today, told her he lives a couple hours away via flight. He's going to fly to come see her just for 2 hours. He's just going to take a flight to see her 2 hours, because he wants to see her. Now, be it, he has to go back the same day. So this guy is willing to do whatever. He's willing to move mountains. And that's when you know that a guy has chosen you as a type of woman that he sees himself with. Now, don't go off and just say, okay, he's the one. We're still rotationally dating until these guys make a decision and say, okay, we're dating exclusively for marriage. Make sure you have your timelines, make sure you have your non-negotiables, your love list, all that stuff we talk about in the Feminine Energy Academy. The links below. We talk about all that stuff and preparing you for that. But that's a healthy sign and let you know this guy is willing to fly out just to see you for 2 hours. No hotel stay, no hookup, none of that. You'll be in my presence. We may go out to eat. We may get together for a couple of minutes. But after that 2 hours is up, you're going your way. I'm going my way. And when you do that and have those boundaries in place, like this lady in the Feminine Energy Academy, what happens is he's going to want more. He's going to desire more. You're giving him a taste. You're giving him a little bit of your energy, and if you're in your fun, just, I'm having fun, I'm enjoying myself, not detached to him energy, that's going to make him come to you even more. And it's okay to let him know that, I enjoyed your time here. Thanks for coming out. Please, if guys are flying to you, they're flying you out, you have to let them know you appreciate it. But you don't owe them anything. Like in this case, she doesn't owe him anything because he flew out. She doesn't owe him a meal. She doesn't owe him a good time before he leaves or anything like that. She just owes him good energy on the date. And that good energy is going to have him flying back out. It's going to have him flying her out. It's going to have him doing what I did in my situation, moving countries. I moved from Chicago to Canada just to seriously date Coach Tosh. I could have just said, okay, yeah, I could have tried. I'm not going to say it would have worked. I could have tried and said, okay, let's talk and see how it works out. You kind of far, so I don't want to change things. And then if this doesn't work, then I'm out there and I changed my entire life. No. Men that have chosen you and really want to be with you will risk it all in a sense of they'll make these changes that shift their life. They have a life, they're established in the city they're in, they're established in what they're doing. They'll make shifts, they'll move things around, they'll pick up a second mortgage if they need to, or rent something out. Like I did, I was in an Airbnb in Canada because I had chosen her before we were married. That's the key as well. You have to you have to be able to attract the guy who's choosing you before you walk down the aisle. Of course, if you're waiting to walk down the aisle and then okay, now I know, or waiting until okay, now we got to have sex, we got to see if we'll like each other. We got to see if, we connect in this way and then I'll know. Run so fast from these guys because what that turns into is a situationship. And the guy that has chosen you, the attributes he'll have is he's disciplined, he's someone who's structured, he's someone who has a plan, he's someone who's already lined up things in his work life. He has a vision for you, he has a vision for the family, for where he sees you going before. Because if you're coming in as his helpmate, you're coming in to help him with something. So he had to have something going on, something established, or else he may not be ready for you because that's where the frustration comes in. When you start dating guys who don't have a vision, you start dating guys that aren't ready for the help because you're coming in ready. You got the gloves ready, you're ready to help him in whatever he's doing. And a lot of times, women do it a little too quickly. They start functioning in that helpmate role before they're officially wives. So you want to make sure that you come in and understand it's a man who has a vision for your family, a man who has a vision for your future, for your marriage, whatever you desire. But don't step out of line and start doing things for him. Don't become his business partner before you're married. No, go into it having your own things going on. And once you connect, that's what makes it easy to see for a woman. If you want to know if he's a guy that you should really continue to move forward with, first, he's got to choose you. He's got to choose you. And these are the three signs. I'll go over them again. Number one, he can't go a day without talking to you. Number two, you will not need to guess if he's into you. And number three, he always wants to see you. Those are the signs of a healthy masculine energy man that has chosen you. But you have to make sure that because he has those signs, you don't jump in front of things and start doing things and start planning something that he hasn't even planned. Just relax, stay in your feminine, stay in your receiving mode, stay in a place where you still have stuff going on. You have potentially have kids to take care of, you have a business to run, you have a family that you're looking out for and that you're caring for potentially. Whatever the case is, you have life going on and you're rotationally dating. You're rotationally dating until he's chosen you, until he says, I want to be with you exclusively. And because trust me, I've said everything as well. I can't even come up with everything that I've said before from the age of 18 up, but you'll know it as well because he's doing everything he needs to do. He's meeting your love list. He's doing stuff you're not even asking him to do. He's checking in on you. He's making sure you're good. Your kids are good. Even when we were in our dating phase and dating for marriage phase with Coach Tosh and I, we were in different countries initially for a couple of months when we started dating seriously. But I had already planned. I had the ticket. I was already coming when we started moving forward in this way. I was already going to Canada at the time, but I started checking in on her. I was actually training her kids online. I was like, okay, I'll do some basketball training with them. I got some skills doing these things to let her know that even though I'm not there in person with her, I'm still going to do whatever I need to do to make sure she's good, to take some weight off of her, to make sure she's not stressed. She's not, it's just so much going on. She doesn't have energy. No, I needed her to have energy to talk to me. So whatever I needed to do to make sure she has some energy to talk to me, some energy to, feel relaxed. Because if a woman doesn't feel relaxed and doesn't feel at ease, doesn't feel protected, then hey, forget trying to have a conversation with her. Her mind is everywhere else. I needed to make sure her mind was as clear as I could make it being in another country. So he's going to go above and beyond to make sure you're good, your family's good, your kids are good. He's going to do whatever he can within himself to make sure of that. So those are easy signs to know. I want to get to a couple of these questions. I see we have a couple of ladies in the FEA as well on here. Khadija, I believe she's in the FEA as well. Ambitious, perfect, purpose-driven man. That's the key. And I'm going to go on that point a little as well. A purpose-driven man. Not that a job is bad, because I've had jobs. I continue to volunteer, but someone who understands their purpose in life. And a job is separate from your purpose. You can have a great job and not know your purpose. So many people have great jobs but don't enjoy being there. And you want a man that not only has a great job, great career, but is in line with his purpose. And for me, no matter what I've done over the last 20, 30 years, I've always been a coach. I don't care if I've had jobs in sales, if I've started businesses, whatever the case is. The core of who I am has always been a coach. I'm volunteer coaching kids, I'm coaching teams. It's just always coaching. And if you don't have something that motivates you, something that drives you as a man, something that you look at and say, I'll do this for free. This is what I was born to do. If you don't have a man that has that type of passion, that type of understanding as far as who he is, he's going to be searching for himself, even in the relationship. He's going to try to figure out who he is. He may not be as confident in who he is. If he loses his job, that's going to take a lot out of him, because he's working a job but doesn't know his purpose. So, ladies, make sure, and I don't care if, his purpose, a coach doesn't sound like, necessarily a six-figure job or anything like that. But even healthy masculine energy men are doing this as volunteer work, because we just want to lead people. We want to make sure people have direction. We want to make sure they have the tools that they need. We want to make sure they feel secure. So trust me, ladies, make sure this man knows his purpose in life, and he's driven to follow his purpose in life. And if you have a guy who's doing that, he checks all the other boxes, now you're able to say, okay, I can trust that this guy will continue to make me feel safe, continue to make me feel loved, continue to do what's needed to do for us as a family, that we'll continue to be able to live the type of life that we want to live. I do want to get to some of these questions. Khadija says, I ask you, name some of the names that your situationships calls you. And one of them said, he calls me Mia Moore. Man, listen, they'll call you anything. They'll call you Spanish names. They'll call they'll call you French names. They'll say it in different languages because it sounds good. But they haven't committed to you. They haven't chosen you, but they have a suave voice, and something just tingles on the inside of you when they say it like that. Don't get don't what's the quote? Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You know, don't let him piss on you and tell you it's raining, because he'll tell you anything to make you feel good, but he hasn't made that commitment to you. Alicia, one of our Feminine Energy Academy ladies, I'm going to get to your question first. She says, I'll, I'll get to that too. She said, I feel disrespected when I think back at it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. Don't hold it against yourself or anything like that. It's just more about recognizing that he's just saying a whole bunch of nothing. And I'm saying this because I've said a whole bunch of nothing before. Looking back, I just talking out the side of my neck didn't mean anything I was saying, right? But being in a healthy place now, to be able to get the wife that I desired, I understood I had to do things differently. And the old ways of doing things that's leading to nothing, isn't something that a healthy masculine energy man is going to do. Alicia says, hey, Coach B. So I've been dating this guy for a while, and he met my kids in a friendly way, and he was helping me out with them. I thought he was going to feel uncomfortable, but they all connected. My son kept wanting to hug and play with him. He felt safe. I didn't know how much my children were deprived of a masculine man. And it's so important. And definitely congratulations. Hopefully, you've been in the FEA, so you definitely understand, the process in dating for marriage, especially when you're introducing your kids to guys. And this is not for you, Alicia, but for all the ladies that are listening. Before you introduce your kids to any guy, first off, one good thing that Coach Tosh did is she had conversations with her kids. She was conversating, okay, I'm going to start dating for marriage. This is, kind of getting their input on what type of guy they desire, even though she eventually, she was going to make the decision that made most sense for her. But she listened to their input. She listened to what they wanted. And then we established that we were dating for marriage. We established that we were going to move forward with it. And that's when the official introduction to the kids happened. But definitely congrats to you, and continue again. If he hasn't given you any timelines or anything like that, like when you're going to get married, when he desires to get married, things like that. If you're bound, you make sure you have your boundaries in place, your love list, he matches it. If all those things check out, great. But definitely make sure you look at that before moving forward too quick in the relationship, because you want to make sure you protect your kids, you want to protect yourself, you want to protect all the work that you've done to get to this place, and you don't want a situation to end up taking you right back to where you were before. Love that for you, Alicia. Definitely, definitely. Congrats on that. Is it okay to message a man who left his phone number on the dating app following the first date? You said he left his phone number on the dating app following the first date. So you had already gone on a date, and then he left his phone number for you to reach out to him. So I'll answer that in the only way I know how. I'm not sure exactly what that meant, but never reach out and call a man first. Trust me on this. Men that are okay, here's my business card. I just threw this number on a napkin. I was looking at you, give me a call when you get time. No, no, those guys, you're going to have to chase those guys down for the rest of the relationship. You're going to have to reach out to them and say, okay, I want to see you. And they're going to be in their feminine, and you're going to be in your masculine. You're going to be chasing them the entire time. A healthy masculine energy, man, I don't care how busy they are. I don't care if you're in traffic. If they see you and they like you, they're going to come and stop traffic. If they want your number, they're not going to throw their number through a window or, tell you to call them. No, they're going to come up to you. Can I have your number? I want to get to know you. I know it's kind of tight right now where everybody's around. It's busy and I don't have time to talk to you, but can I get your number? I want to call you. Simple as that. The same energy it took to ask you to call them, they'll use that energy and say, can I call you? So never call a man first. If he's leaving his number or if he's sending somebody over, he's sending it through a waitress, like, okay, give her my number, ask her to call me. No, no, no. Don't fall for that. Make sure. And don't ask for his number. Like if he gives you his number and then you give him your number, don't do that either. I've heard that as well, where women are like, well, he gave me his number and I just gave him mine. You're gonna call me. No, unless he asks for your number and you feel comfortable, don't give your number to him. Don't call him if he's just shortchanging you and telling you to call him. Here's my number. I don't care how good you think he looks. I don't care how successful you think he is. I don't care what the case is. If unless he's asking for your number specifically, don't assume anything. Trust me, don't assume anything. Give him your number if he asks, and if he calls you, great. But you're not attached. You're busy doing other stuff. You're going on dates. You're enjoying life. You're going to the mini spa like Coach Tasha went today. That's why she's not on here. She's relaxed. You're doing things that you enjoy, and he's got to come at you. If he's not coming at you, don't waste your time. Trust me on that. Um, don't listen. Uh, that's so true. Yeah, trust me on that. And what happens is, when a man is not healthy, what happens is he'll get triggered. He may get triggered because he's so used to women coming at him. He's so used to women just saying, okay, I'll call you because, maybe he has all the looks, everything that women like. He has the physique, whatever the case is. He's used to that. So men can get triggered from that if you're not calling them. Like, I gave you my number. Why didn't you call? Just don't even spend time or waste time with emotional guys, because if a guy is not disciplined or able to control himself. That's something that's going to show in every area of their life. It's going to show in their attitude. It's going to show sexually. If, okay, if for some reason you're not able to do things, you're married in a relationship and you're married, and for a week or two, you're not able to do things, and he doesn't have the discipline to just relax, to just find other things to do. And he just has to get what he wants right now. If he doesn't get what he wants right now, then he just gets emotional. Stay away from those guys because they're not disciplined. They don't have much structure in certain areas of their life, and it's going to come out. It's going to show at the wrong time, and you don't want to position yourself in that way. Let me see. So definitely, so many good questions. Uh, oh, this is a good one right here. He doesn't call me every day anymore, but he does call to check on the kids. Okay, so I didn't see the entire message, but just looking at that, I made that mistake doing things for him. I was just showing kindness, thinking I was helping, but I think it pushed him away. So if he's calling the kids, what that means, and he's not reaching out to you, and if those are not his kids, that's a separate thing as well. So if those are his kids, he's reaching out to his kids, then that's totally normal. He still has to be able to contact them. If those are not his kids and he just connected with those kids in the relationship, and now he's reaching out to the kids but doesn't want to talk to you, that's a way that's a way that he's using to still get what he wants out of you eventually. He's playing this, this hard to get or whatever game it is that he's playing. But what happens, because he's talking to the kids, he's taking them out, he's doing stuff for them, they're going to want him around. They're going to want to see him. They're going to start wondering and asking, when is he coming back? Why isn't he here anymore? And then that's going to put the pressure on you. So it's kind of like he's going the long way. Instead of coming to you and dealing with whatever it was, he still wants your presence. He still wants access to you, but he's going a route of, okay, I don't want to be around her. I don't want to spend time with her. But if I go through the kids, now the kids are going to start bringing up my name, and that's going to cause her to want to see me, because women love men that are providers. In a sense, they're taking care of stuff. He's taking care of your kids, and that can cause you to want to connect with them. That can cause you to want to hook up with them potentially. So he wants to still have access in those areas, but he doesn't want to be with you. So you have to be careful. If you separated, if you're no longer together, if it's no longer a relationship, if you don't have kids together, then you have to totally separate. I don't care if he has clothes over there, get rid of those clothes. If he's giving you money, you have to stop taking that money. If he's doing stuff for the kids, you have to end that. I know sometimes it can be challenging, but you have to be the one to end it, because as long as you allow him to do that, then that's blocking your husband, the guy that wants to choose you, from seeing you, because you're still entangled. You're entangled in this situationship, because a situationship is just something that's benefiting you or benefiting that person, but not benefiting both people. He's getting something out of it. You're getting something out in a sense of your kids are feeling good, but it's blocking a healthy masculine energy man, because a healthy masculine energy man will not come close to a lady who's still dealing with an ex, with a lady who's, in a situationship, with a lady who hasn't let go of the past. You have to sever the past, get the healing, jump in the Feminine Energy Academy, get what you need, start brainwashing yourself with this new information, brainwashing yourself with these audios. Then you'll be able to attract. And to that point, even this Saturday, upcoming Saturday, we have a master class. And if the moderator could put the information down there at the bottom about the master class, going to go deep into, I know Coach Tosh is going deep into, I believe, situationships, relationships, this Saturday on the call. All the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy get free access to it. So if you're not in the Feminine Energy Academy, the link is below. Jump in. It's a free 7-day trial. You can check it out. You love it. You can stay. If it's not for you, nothing lost, but you get free access to this Saturday's masterclass with Coach Tosh. I'll put the details of it at the bottom for you ladies. I wrote it down somewhere, but I can't remember exactly what it's about. But I do believe I know it's on relationships, but definitely want to add that to it so we can make sure that you are able to jump on there. Just looking at some of the questions, a healthy man will not leave a woman confused. Definitely will not do that. Situationships are a waste of time. And the reality is, most people have only been in situationships. Most people haven't really had relationships that were leading to marriage. Most people have had long term relationships that are situationships because there was no definition, it was no timeline, it was no leading to marriage, no marriage date, no rings. It was just someone you like, someone you enjoyed being around, someone you were just vibing with. And excuse me, if you vibed with guys and not really been in relationships, but kind of seeing where they were going, definitely add that to the bottom. Let me know if you've been in vibe situationships for years. Because what happens is most men that are not healthy, they just want to vibe. They just want to see how things are going to go. They just want to see how this is going to play out. They just want to test the waters before they commit to it. All right, I'm just going to dip my toe in, and maybe I'll have a little access here. We'll have a sexual relationship. Maybe we'll go out and get some food every now and again. But most people haven't been in healthy long-term relationships that are leading to marriage, relationships that have been defined, relationships with boundaries. So in most cases, people are still learning how to date. I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We have women of all ages in the Feminine Energy Academy. The first thing is to have the awareness and say, you know what? I haven't really been in a real relationship. I've just been in a lot of situationships. So I don't even know how to identify if a man is choosing me. And if that's you, let me know. But that's okay. I don't want you to stop there. I don't want you to say that's been me. Okay, I raised my hand like I'm in school. No, it's about doing differently. Say if you knew better, you do better. Now you know better. Now it's time to do differently. So you don't find yourself in situationships because men will take you from your 30s to your late 40s in a situationship, move on and get married to somebody else and wipe their hands clean of you. And you'll be sitting around looking like you gave 8 years away to some guy who never had intention, some guy who never committed to you, some guy that's had your hormones all over the place because every night he didn't call you, you're wondering where he's at. He's working late shifts and he works a 9 to 5, but he's staying out to 10 p.m. because he's putting in a little overtime and that check doesn't show it. You've been in those situationships for years. Now it's time to separate yourself. And the most challenging part is first that detaching, because detaching can look like whatever you want it to, but fully detaching and going silent, true, fully detaching and saying, I know he did some things for you. I know, you really love him, but do you love yourself even more? Are you in a position where you're saying, I love this person, but how much do I love myself? Do I want to see change in myself? Or do I want to spend another 3, 4 years just dealing with this? Because guess what? At least it's better than nothing. At least I have somebody. Some people don't even have anybody. Some people still, by themselves and go to sleep alone. At least I have somebody to sleep next to me. That's better than nothing is not the way that God has chosen us to live. We're supposed to have exceedingly abundantly more than we can ask or think. If you're settling for better than nothing, then you're selling yourself short. You're just giving up in that area, like, okay, I tried, now I'm this age, whatever story you're telling yourself, it makes sense to you because you're talking to yourself. You haven't bounced this off anybody, anyone who's in a healthy relationship. You haven't bounced this off any married couples, any of your mentors, any people that you look at and say they're living a life that I can see myself living. No, you bounce this off of yourself. And you had this story and this conversation, and now you've settled for what you've told yourself in your mind. Don't do that. You have so much more to give, so much living to do. And you want to make sure once you identify, that's when you take the step. It's like, when do I change? How do I change? Well, now's the time, and we can walk you through it in the FEA. Um, and some people don't have a problem detaching, but some people also put walls up. If you're not in a healthy relationship that you desire to be in, sometimes it can be you don't know how to detach, and sometimes you have so many walls up that a bulldozer can't put it down. You have so many guards up because this happened to me. This happened to me. I detach easily. If you detach easily with no emotion, then you're probably someone who's compartmentalizing things, someone who probably doesn't give your all to things because you're holding back just in case. Just in case I get hurt, just in case this doesn't work, I'm going to hold back my energy so I can protect myself. So we all fall within something if we're not in a healthy relationship that we desire to be in. Coach B, okay, let me see. Coach B, I want to be in a relationship with him, but he said he isn't ready for a relationship, but he does call to check on us from time to time. I pulled away. I feel misled. Well, this is one thing you have to know. When a man says something, believe him. If he says that he isn't ready for a relationship, oh, excuse me. Translation, he doesn't want a relationship with you. And you have to be okay with that. For whatever reason, I'm not saying you're a bad person. He may not be want to be with you for whatever reason. Your job is not to figure out why he doesn't want to be with you, to try to convince him to be with you. No, you have to take him for what he says, even though it may hurt, even though it's something you didn't want to hear from him. Trust it when he says it, then you detach. But you have to do something different. You can't just say, I'm detaching, and then as soon as he calls, you're twiddling your thumbs and you just pick it up because, what if it's an emergency? I don't want to not pick up the phone. So let me pick it up. You're telling yourself whatever you feel that makes you feel good to answer that call. But detaching, if you've never detached and gone silent, if you've never been in healthy relationships like you desire to be in, then you have to get some leading, some guidance. So just trying to do it on your own usually doesn't work. And Coach Tosh says this all the time. You cannot heal in the same place that you got sick. So in the process of you trying to detach from him, he's still in your presence. He still has access to you. You're still doing the same things. And this has been years that have gone on. So if he tells you he's not ready to be in a relationship, take it as he doesn't want to be with you. And I usually don't tell women, okay, it's not about you. Trust me, you have to take this in and say, he's talking about he doesn't want to be with me. Because if you let it drag out, it just turns into an easy situationship for him because he's like, she's still answering my calls. She still wants to talk. She's mad at me. But watch this. I'm going to send her some flowers. I'm going to bring her kids some food and I'm going to get access to her again. But I already told her I don't want a relationship. So she knows that. So whatever we do, she knows my boundaries because most men don't have a problem putting up those boundaries. She knows my boundaries. She knows I'm not going past, just being cool. So if we slip up and have sex, we're still not in a relationship. And you don't want that situationship because it's men do it so often that it's not even a trick. It's what they do. I mean, help me out, ladies. If men have tried this on you, let me know. But men do this so often. They just do the same thing over and over, over and over. And it's about identifying and having a different response, having the tools you need because it's not that you don't know. You know in a head knowledge, you know what they're going to do. But it's that you don't have the tools and you're just hoping for the best. You're giving them the benefit of the doubt because this time they said it and they were just a little more sincere. This time they said it at church, right? Last time they said it, we was outside. This time they went to church with me. They held my hand. We went up there and prayed together. We bowed our head like we was a married couple. And now he said he's going to do it, even though we're still in a situationship. And there's no shade to anybody. A lot of people have done this. You just last night you just had a good time together, and now you repenting together. You giving it all to God this time, and He's up there with you. He even came with the kids. Y'all dressed alike. Y'all did everything, and now He's ready. He hasn't done any healing. You haven't done any healing, but you went up there, and now you're ready. And guess what? That same cycle repeats itself. Kendra said, can a situationship block your blessings and block your future? A situationship can block your husband. That much I can tell you. Being in a situationship, men know when another man has your attention, when another man has access to you. And if you haven't cut off access to that man, no, you're not able to even attract a healthy masculine energy man because you're in the energy of just casual relationships. You can't have a situationship over here and then it's like, okay, now I'm ready to, he this guy's ready for marriage, I'm ready. No, it's got to be a time of separation, a time of detaching from that, a time of identifying, you've been in situationships, and a time of healing. You can't go from a situationship today and then tomorrow you attracted your healthy masculine energy man who's ready to commit for you, provide for you, protect you, do all for you. Men aren't going to do that for a woman who's who's doing other stuff, who's loose, who other men have access to. You have to make sure that you get in the energy of attracting a husband. And that energy isn't a side dude, isn't a dude who, just dipping in at night, who gonna just ride down on you because both of y'all just got an urge. I'm just gonna do this one more time, and then tomorrow I'm gonna commit to that guy who really likes me. No, that's not how it works. Many have tried, few have succeeded in that. You don't want to try that route. You want to get the healing. You want to understand what you desire. You want to get those boundaries in place. You want to have discipline within yourself first. If you're not disciplined within yourself to leave the situationships alone, how do you expect to attract a disciplined and healthy man? It doesn't happen. So make sure you do your work. And it can happen in a short time. I'm not saying it takes weeks and months and years. No, it can happen in whatever timing, but you have to truly be healed from it. And you have to truly change your way of thinking. You have to truly get new information and start embodying who you are, because men are attracted to wives, not women that one day will be a wife. And this is healthy provider energy men that are looking to choose you. They're attracted to wives, women that are functioning as wives, women that don't have one more hot girl summer in them, women that don't need to, I got to put on this fit, just for the club because I'm going to kill them at the club. I'm hurting them at the club with this fit. They don't want to see me out here with this. Man, they hating on me with it. No, men don't need all that. Men are attracted to women that are wives, that are okay with just being at home, okay with, just relaxing after a long day. Don't need to be seen and need to be out in somebody's face. Don't need likes and views on, all of their pictures that they put up, that don't get off because they have 10,000 likes on a picture that's showing everything. No, men are attracted to wives. And once you get in your wife energy, you'll attract that right provider energy type man. Yes, but if we accept that we can't blame him, no one can have access to our hearts without our permission. And that's so true. But a lot of times, women and people don't even understand that they're giving up access because it's just so normal. It's just who you are. It's what you've seen. You've grown up, you've seen your mother be in situationships, and this is no shade to anybody. This is just the reality. You've seen your mother, your cousin, your aunts in situationships. You've seen them in unhealthy marriages, unhealthy relationships, and that's become the norm. That's become the expectation, even without you trying to think that way. You want to think differently. It's like myself, even with the father that was a provider for my mother and the family, had challenges in the area of drinking. That's what I would have become if I wouldn't have made a conscious decision. If I wouldn't have made the decision like, okay, no, this isn't for me. This isn't the life I want. And then the action behind it. Now when the opportunity comes, because it came, the opportunity comes now, no, I'm standing on this. This is what I'm doing. I'm looking for something different. I'm going to college. I'm going away. Whatever it took, I was willing to do to make sure that my life looked different. And we have to do that so much in the area of relationships because most of us haven't seen healthy relationships. Most of us haven't seen parents that loved each other, that took care of each other, that loved being around each other. Parents that went on dates. I don't remember one time, and God bless my parents. So, they did as much as they could. They did what they knew to do. And it was a different era. They didn't have as many tools as we have. But I never saw them go on a date. I never saw them enjoying each other, hugging, kissing. And they were married for 44 years. So, with that being the case, we have to be intentional in doing things differently because, in most cases, and I'm not saying all, because there's plenty of people that are listening that saw healthy relationships, their parents, they saw them love on each other. But most people that I've come across, most people that we've coached, most women that are in the Feminine Energy Academy didn't see the healthy relationships that would allow them to know how to move forward in a healthy way. So you have to see something different. You have to be around something different. That's what I love about the FEA, the Feminine Energy Academy, is it's more of a community. It's less of a community, but more of a family where we're able to share, able to learn, able to get healing from those, tough things that have happened growing up, but not staying in that place, not repeating those stories. Because everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a situation where something's happened, where something made you feel a certain type of way, where you have a reason to go the wrong way. But we're choosing. We're choosing to have healthy relationships. Even when Coach Tasha and I got married, everyone, always says, that first year of marriage is going to be tough. No, we chose to make the first year of our marriage the best year of our marriage. And moving forward, every year after that continues to get better, not just but because we made a decision and we're willing to do the things that we need to do to keep each other happy, to keep loving each other no matter what happens. So let me see it's a few more questions I want to get to. What about mansplaining? How do you tell someone not to do that? Is it condescending? Well, you guys have to help me with mansplaining. I don't even know what that is. So help me with that so I can answer that question. Is it um is that a real thing, date for marriage? Well, it's a real thing in our community. It's a real thing in what we're teaching the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, dating for marriage. And the simplicity of it is people are just dating, they're going out, spending time, a lot of times wasting time. But dating for marriage is about having boundaries. It's about having your love list. It's about knowing what you desire and not accepting anything less. It's about rotationally dating. All these things we talk about in the Feminine Energy Academy, is to help our ladies date for marriage. And that's what Coach Tosh and I did. We're showing you, not just telling you, but showing you how to date for marriage, how to prepare yourself, how to be in position to attract that healthy masculine energy man who wants to marry you. Because trust me, I've coached many men. I talk to many men. I have friends. Men want to get married. The challenge is, in most cases, men aren't able to find the women that are wives, that not only say they want to get married, in word, but are functioning as wives, are ready to take on, and understand they're coming in as a helpmate to this man. And they're just not in the place mentally, emotionally, to be ready to move forward in marriage. And that's what we do, because it's so many things. It's actually a few things that men look for when they're looking for a wife. And again, we go over this in the Feminine Energy Academy. When they're looking to choose a wife, men are looking for specific things. And it's not complicated, but it's, are you willing to make the adjustment? Because if you're looking for a job and they're looking for someone who has 6 years of experience with Excel, then guess what? If you have 2 years of experience in Excel, you're probably not the right candidate. And it's the same thing for a man who's looking for a wife. Whatever he's looking for specifically, and most of the times it's not years of experience in anything specifically, but he's looking for that. And if you don't have those qualifications, he's going to move on to the next candidate. He's going to move on to the next person. And, it could be unfair. It could be whatever you want it to be, but it's the reality of how men see things and how men do things when they know what they want. So we help you become the match in the Feminine Energy Academy. We help you become that which a man desires. And a lot of it is really just you being in your feminine, in your receiving. It's just you having fun, enjoying yourself, not having the resting bee phase, not looking like you're thinking about, okay, what am I going to do when I get home? What I got to cook this, I got to do that. You have that look on your face most of the time. But if you're just smiling, having fun, not taking things like personal, not worried about, does he like me? Does he not like? No, you're just enjoying yourself. You're getting to know each other. You're easy to be around, and you're just enjoying the moment. That's what attracts him. Not you, necessarily looking this way, but on the inside you haven't done any work. You look the part. You look feminine, you have the long hair, you have the high heels, but then you're stumping around like to stump the ground or something, stumping a yard or something. You just, walking around mad and mean, and you're not going to attract him. I don't care how good you look on the outside. So make sure you jump in the Feminine Energy Academy so we can go deeper and help you recognize that dating for marriage is real. Mansplaining is a blend of the words man and splain. It's defined as a man explaining something to a woman in a condescending way that assumes he has no prior knowledge about the topic. Well, one thing I do know, and thanks for sharing with the mansplaining, because I don't get into all that mansplaining and all of that. But whatever energy you have, what is going to be reciprocated as a woman. So if you're in the energy of just, attracting, okay, I only attract guys that want to mansplain, I only attract narcissistic guys. I believe I said it right. Narcissistic guys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I only attract these type of guys, then you're going to continue to. But if you're in the energy of, the right guys attracted to you, you're attracting the right guys, you're so easy to be found by the healthy masculine energy man. Those are the type of men you're going to attract. So guys that, situations or people that you're attracting that it's a lot of back and forth with, that they're not getting to the point. Because remember, I said a healthy masculine energy man is not going to confuse you. He's not going to make you feel a certain way. Like, okay, well, I don't know if he likes me, or make you feel bad because you don't want to do things that he wants to do. No. So if you get into those situations and you continue to find yourself getting into those, first you want to do the inner work to see what are you doing to attract these guys. And if it's one off, then just move about your way. You don't want to spend too much time in that type of environment, because that's not going anywhere. That's just that's just two masculine energy people just going back and forth. Okay, we're gonna see who's gonna win this battle. No, just leave it alone, move on, and don't spend time with that. Thanks for answering my questions. Let me see if I can answer one more question, but definitely appreciate you. And again, what's up, Bonnie from the Feminine Energy Academy from the Chi-Town, hometown? Thanks for checking in. Ladies, jump into the Feminine Energy Academy, because I'm giving you the man's way of thinking about this. But Coach Tosh goes in so deep. Again, this Saturday she has a master class where she's going to go in so deep with you ladies as well. She's able to explain it from a woman's point of view and understand not only how to see it, but how to move forward with it, and how to get into the new energy of being able to receive your husband. Can I sit you? Let me see if I missed any questions. Facts. Men know they can play with. Yeah, men know who they can play with. Trust me. Just an example of when Coach Tosh and I were talking. You know, I've been a bachelor for 30 plus years, so I was doing bachelor stuff. But one thing I knew, when she detached from me and went silent, I knew the bachelor games didn't work with her. I knew I had to step it up and do something different, because she wasn't going. She wasn't about to play around the bachelor games. And this is something that, not that I was doing because, I'm just trying to do this and make her feel this way. It was just something I wasn't healed in certain areas, but I got some healing. I got some healing when I saw she wasn't going for the bachelor games. And then I approached it differently. So men know who they can play games with. Men know who they can be in a situationship with. Men know what to say, because men have so much practice. So especially men that don't have a problem talking to people. And what a lot of men call it, they just call it a lot of target practice. They're out at the club, they're just shooting their shot, whatever the case. They're used to this rejection. They're used to having a comeback. But when you're healed and whole, when you have your boundaries in place, men know they can't play with you. And that's the place you need to be and stay, because you don't want to attract the guys who just play those games and just have the right thing to say or the wrong thing to say all the time, but it sounds good, right? What days do you normally come on? Can't wait to attend the master class this weekend, definitely. And we're on the schedule changes, but we're on in the Feminine Energy Academy every day. We're in there, we're answering questions, we're talking to the community. We jump on live within the Feminine Energy Academy as well. I was on there today just going deep with some of the ladies as well. So definitely, you jump in the Feminine Energy Academy, you'll have access to us. But when it comes to YouTube, we kind of jump on when we can. But definitely look forward to seeing you. And there, Saturday is my day of rest. If I join, do I get a meeting? by being recorded. Each meeting in the Feminine Energy Academy does get recorded. So you have access to the recordings, even the recordings that we did even previous to you joining the Feminine Energy Academy. You have access to those. So no worries there. If you're not able to jump on live with us Saturday at the masterclass, the replay will be available in the Feminine Energy Academy only. So jump in. You'll have access to that. And if you're able to jump on, even better. But every week, every week we're doing master classes, but this week is going to be a special week as Tosh goes in with the master class. But definitely, and the master class this weekend is about detachment and dating with the feminine ease in the Feminine Energy Academy. So detachment and dating with feminine ease is this Saturday's master class. Jump in. You have access to the replays. And again, it's only in the Feminine Energy Academy. And if I did not get to your question, definitely jump in, ask us the question. You can message Coach Tosh and myself directly, and we'll answer the question for you. So we don't have anyone answering it. We'll answer it for you. We'll also help direct you through which audios you need to listen to. So when you jump in, let us know why you jumped in. Let us know what you need, and we'll direct you. Coach Tosh specifically will direct you on which audios to listen to, and we'll walk you through that process. So definitely enjoyed each of you on this evening. Continue to have a great evening, and we'll see you in the Feminine Energy Academy.